everyone, and welcome back to Cheyenne Paleo Park. In this episode, we'll be getting straight into filling out the next section of our park in Hell Creek. In this build, we'll be building a beautiful foothills enclosure with a zipline over the top. Hell Creek was a floodplain during the Late Cretaceous, so we'll create an area where water can flow down the hillside and into our swampy rivers. In this enclosure, we'll have two major species of this formation, the Edmontosaurus and Ankylosaurus. Edmontosaurus stands as a prominent figure among the herbivorous dinosaurs of the Late Cretaceous period, widely recognized as duck-billed dinosaur due to its distinctive facial structure. This genus encompasses some of the largest members of the hadrosaur family, offering significant insights into the ecosystems that existed millions of years ago. Its existence during the final epoch of the Age of Dinosaurs underscores its importance in understanding the biodiversity and environmental conditions of that era. The consistent use of the common name across numerous sources indicates its widespread recognition, making it a familiar subject for both scientific inquiry and public interest. Furthermore, the sheer size attained by Edmontosaurus, with some individuals even rivaling or exceeding the dimensions of the apex predator Tyrannosaurus rex, highlights its ecological significance and potential impact on its environment. Scientifically, Edmontosaurus is classified within the family Hadrosauridae and family Hadrosaurinae, also known as Saurophinae. It places it firmly within the group of duck-billed dinosaurs, a diverse and successful lineage of herbivorous dinosaurs flourishing in the Late Cretaceous. The subfamily Hadrosaurinae is characterized by the absence of the large hollow crest on their heads, prominent in other large hadrosaurid families, Lambeosaurinae. The consistent taxonomical classification across various scientific and general resources underscores the well-established understanding of Edmontosaurus' place in the dinosaur family tree. The dual naming of the subfamily also points to an evolving understanding within paleontology, and the name Edmontosaurus itself translates to a lizard from Edmonton, a direct reference to the Edmonton Rock Formation, which is now called the Horseshoe Canyon Formation in Alberta, Canada, where the first fossils of this dinosaur were discovered. The geographic connection provides a tangible link to the history of its discovery. It includes two recognized species, Edmontosaurus regalis and Edmontosaurus annectens. Regalis derives its name from the Latin word regalis, meaning royal or regal, and therefore translating to regal lizard from Edmonton, alluding to its impressive size and robustness. Edmontosaurus annectens means connected lizard from Edmonton. It reflects its taxonomic history and connection made between various fossil finds over time. The distinct meanings of this species name suggest that early paleontologists recognized a notable difference between these two forms. Physically, Edmontosaurus was a very large dinosaur, with adults typically reaching lengths between 9.5 and 13 meters, or 32 to 42 feet. Some exceptionally large individuals, particularly with the Edmontus annectus species, may have reached up to 15 meters in length, although such sizes are considered rare. In terms of height, they could stand up to 3 meters or 10 feet tall, and weight estimates vary, going from 3 to 4.5 metric tons, or 3.5 to 5 regular tons, for typical adults. However, there is a very large annectens specimen, sometimes referred to as X. rex, being estimated to weigh between 10 and 18 tons, though these figures are debated and likely represent the upper extremes of size. A 2022 study suggested regalis species might have been heavier than its relative. This variability on size and weight highlights the natural range within the species and ongoing refinement of paleontological estimates. One of the most defining features of Edmontosaurus was its head, characterized by a long, narrow beak that gave the entire hadrosaur family their common name. The snout was broad and flattened, representing the bill of a modern duck, and was toothless at the front. Both the upper and lower portions of the beak were covered in a keratinous material similar to the beaks of birds. Impressions found on some fossils indicate that this horny beak might have had a series of interlocking points, suggesting a specialized structure for grasping and manipulating vegetation. The description of the head as horse-like further refines our understanding of its shape, implying a more elongated but less blunt profile than sometimes depicted. Despite the lack of teeth at the front of its mouth, it possesses numerous chewing teeth located in the side of the jaws. These teeth were present only on the maxillae, or upper cheeks, and dentaries, lower jaw, and grew in columns with up to 6 teeth stacked vertically in each column. The number of those columns varied depending on the size of the animal, with approximately 51 to 53 columns in the upper jaw and 48 to 49 in the lower jaw. The lower jaws were particularly strong and housed hundreds of these small teeth, forming extensive grinding surfaces that allowed Edmontosaurus to process tough plant material. A crucial adaptation was the continuous replacement of worn teeth, ensuring a constant supply of grinding surfaces for its herbivorous diet. It is indicative of a dinosaur adapted consuming very coarse vegetation. The presence of a crest on the head of Edmontosaurus has been subject to some debate and recent discovery. While many depictions show a smooth head, it is now understood that Regalis possessed a soft tissue crest or wattle on the top of its head, akin to a rooster's crown. It's made of skin and likely contained blood vessels, suggesting a potential role in display or thermoregulation. Unlike the bony crest seen in animals like Parasaurolophus, the fleshy comb was not made of bone, explaining why it was not present in most fossils. In contrast, fossil evidence suggests Edmontosaurus annectens lacked such a crest. So we can see we have Regalis that is in the game. Beyond the head, Edmontosaurus had leathery skin covered in small bumps known as tubercles. The scales were primarily small, ranging from 1 to 3 centimeters in diameter, with larger armor-like scutes present on the neck. Skin impressions from various fossils reveal a complex texture with various shapes and sizes of scales running across the body. One mummy specimen even showed evidence of a fleshy skin furrow running along its neck and back. These diverse skin features likely serve various purposes, from protection to perhaps even camouflage or display. They thrived during the Late Cretaceous, with Regalis living approximately 73 to 69 million years ago. In the Late Campanian, the younger species Edmontosaurus annectus between 68 and 66 million years ago during the Late Maastrichtian Age, making it one of the last non-avian dinosaurs to roam the Earth before the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event. The fossils of Edmontosaurus have been discovered across western North America, such as Wyoming and Colorado, and provinces in Canada such as Alberta and Saskatchewan. Regalis fossils have been primarily found in Alberta and possibly Alaska, while annectens have been discovered in Saskatchewan, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and possibly even Alberta. The distribution indicates Edmontosaurus inhabited the island continent of the Rumedia, one that corresponds to modern-day Western North America, and it's one of the few dinosaur genera that have been found in both Laramidia and Appalachia, the two major land masses of North America during the Cretaceous, that was separated by a large inland sea. The discovery of polar hadrosaurs in Alaska, now identified as Edmontosaurus, further demonstrates their wide geographical range and adaptability. Fossils have been found in the Hell Creek Formation of USA, a rich source of late Cretaceous remains. The habitat of Edmontosaurus was varied, encompassing wetlands and forested environments, lush areas abundant with ferns and other plants, and regions near rivers and floodplains, providing easy access for both water and fresh vegetation. They also inhabited woodlands and floodplains, and their fossils have been found in canyon environments. Notably, Regalis seems to prefer coastal and coastal plain environments. The consistent association with environments rich in plant life underscores its herbivorous diet and necessity of substantial vegetation to sustain its large size. As a herbivore, it primarily fed on a diet of conifer needles, seeds, and twigs. It consumed a variety of plant life during the Cretaceous period, including ferns and other types of vegetation. It also probably ate soft leaves and shrubs, but evidence suggests that it was capable of processing tough plant material, and stomach contents found in some mummified specimens, along with the chemical composition of its teeth, indicate a significant consumption of evergreen trees. There is even a suggestion that hadrosaurs like Edmontosaurus might have occasionally eaten wood to access fungi and invertebrates, indicating a potentially more varied diet than strictly herbivorous. The mouth structure of Edmontosaurus was perfectly adapted for its herbivorous diet, and its long, flat skull with a wide, duck-like beak was ideal for cropping vegetation. Let's get right into our Ankylosaurus as well, which is often likened to a living tank and stands as one of the most recognizable armored dinosaurs from the Late Cretaceous period. Its formidable appearance, characterized by extensive bony armor and a massive club at the end of its tail, has captured the imagination of both scientists and the public alike. It means fused lizard in Greek, alluding to the fusion of the bones in its skull with the other parts of its body, a testament to its rugged build. The name reflects a key evolutionary strategy with the development of a heavily fortified body plan for survival in a world populated by large predators. Ankylosaurus is classified in Ornithischia, also known as bird-hipped dinosaurs. Despite the name bird-hipped, the classification refers to the structure of their pelvic bone and indicates that Ankylosaurus was a herbivore. In fact, that might have seemed surprising given its imposing physique. It further falls under the clade Therophora, which encompasses all armored dinosaurs, including the Stegosaurs and Ankylosaurs. And it is part of the clade Ankylosauria in the family Ankylosauridae. It is specifically defined by the presence of a tail club, a feature that is prominently displayed by Ankylosaurus. And it is in the genus Ankylosaurus, and the single known species, Ankylosaurus magniventris, meaning great-bellied fused lizard. This detailed classification highlights its evolutionary relationships with other dinosaurs and pinpoints its unique position within the armored lineage. Ankylosaurus was a substantial dinosaur, reaching an estimated length of 6 to 8 meters, 20 to 26 feet, with exceptionally large individuals possibly growing up to 10 meters long. Its height at the hips was around 1.7 meters or 5.5 feet. In terms of weight, Ankylosaurus was a heavyweight, estimated to weigh between 4 to 8 metric tons or 4.4 to 8.8 short tons. This considerable size and weight underscore its robust nature and likely influence its movement and interactions with its environment. One of the most defining features of Ankylosaurus was its extensive bony armor. It carried a vast majority of its body, including the neck, back, flanks, and tail, providing a remarkable level of protection. The armor was composed of thick knobs and oval plates of bone known as osteoderms or scutes, which were embedded in the skin. Smaller plates or ossicles likely filled the space between the larger osteoderms, creating a continuous, almost seamless layer of defense. This bony covering may have been further reinforced by a layer of skin and keratin, a tough protein also found in hair and nails, adding to its resilience. The osteoderms were arranged in regular horizontal rows down the dinosaur's body. Adding to this already impressive defense were 2 rows of spikes that ran along its body, providing an additional deterrent to potential predators. The sheer extent and complexity of this armor system highlight its intense evolutionary pressure for protection that Ankylosaurus faced. Beyond its body armor, Ankylosaurus possessed another iconic defensive feature, a powerful tail club. The club was formed by several fused vertebrae at the end of the tail, creating a stiff handle, and large bulbous osteoderms that encompass the tail tip to form a heavy knob. It is widely believed that Ankylosaurus used this tail club as a formidable defense weapon against predators, swinging it from side to side with considerable force. Such blow could potentially break the bones of even large predators like Tyrannosaurus rex, making Ankylosaurus a very dangerous target. Interestingly enough, recent research suggests the tail club might have also served a purpose in intraspecific combat, possibly for establishing dominance or competing for mates. The evolution of the tail club appears to have occurred in a stepwise manner, with the tail first becoming stiffened before the development of the bony knob, suggesting an initial adaptation for wielding a forceful tail even before the full club did evolve. The skull of Ankylosaurus was also heavily armored, broad and low, wider than it was long, and covered in fused bones and bony plates, offering significant protection to the head. The skull featured horns protruding backwards into the sides, as well as bony plates protecting the eyes. In profile, the skull was roughly triangular. A notable feature was the placement of the nostrils, which were situated on the sides of the head, further back than in other ankylosaurs. The unique nostril placement might have been an adaptation related to its feeding habits or environment. It was a quadrupedal dinosaur, meaning it walked on 4 legs, which were short but thick and strong, necessary to support its substantial weight and armor. The hind limbs were slightly longer than the forelimbs, and each foot possessed 5 toes that ended in blunt hoof-like nails, indicated it was adapted for terrestrial locomotion. They roamed the Earth during the Late Cretaceous period, specifically during the Maastrichtian Age, which lasted from approximately 70 to 66 million years ago. It marked the end of the age of dinosaurs, and it was one of the last non-avian dinosaurs to exist. Its fossils have been discovered in western North America, including present-day United States in Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado, and Canada in Alberta and Saskatchewan. During this time, this region formed part of the island known as Lermidia, like we talked before. As a member of the bird-hipped dinosaurs, Ankylosaurus was herbivorous, likely consisting of low-growing plants such as ferns, shrubs, tough leaves, and possibly pulpy fruits. It possessed a narrow beak in the front of its mouth, which would have been useful for stripping leaves from plants. In the back of its jaws, it had small leaf-type shaped teeth that were adapted to grinding plant material. It is believed they had a fermentation-based digestive system to help break down large quantities of relatively unchewed plant matter. Some evidence suggests it might have used its front legs for digging to access roots and tubers, supplementing its diet. While most ankylosaurs were herbivores, the discovery involving a related species, Dinosaurus, apologies if I mispronounced that, hinted at a possible fish-eating habitat, though this is not considered typical for Ankylosaurus. Its primary defense mechanism was its armor and powerful tail club, where its armor acted as a passive defense, the tail club acting as a active weapon that could break the bones of large predators. Its low-slung body made it difficult for predators to flip over, and it is possible that Ankylosaurus exhibited aggression when threatened, similar to some modern herbivores. Several notable Ankylosaurus fossil discoveries have contributed to our understanding of this dinosaur. The hollow-type specimen designated AMNH 5895 was discovered in Montana in 1906 and included a partial skull, vertebrae, ribs, shoulder girdle, and armor. This discovery marked the first scientific documentation of Ankylosaurus. Another significant find was AMNH 5214, unearthed in Alberta, Canada in 1910, which included a complete skull and first known tail club of the genus. Ankylosaurus belongs in the family of Ankylosauridae, which is a group of armored dinosaurs with the presence of a tail club, which distinguishes it from the Nodosauridae, another family of armored dinosaurs that lacked a tail club and often possessed more prominent spikes. One of the other well-known Ankylosauridae is Euplocephalus, which is closely related to Ankylosaurus but is known from more complete fossil remains. A notable difference between the two is that the osteoderms of Ankylosaurus were generally smoother compared to Euplocephalus. Furthermore, the neural spines of the tail club handle in Ankylosaurus exhibit a unique U-shape, distinguishing them from the V-shape found in other Ankylosaurs like Edmontosaurus and Euplocephalus. These comparisons highlight the distinct evolutionary path taken by Ankylosaurus within the Ankylosaurid family. In conclusion, for this species, Ankylosaurus stands as an iconic symbol of the armored dinosaurs of the Late Cretaceous. Its massive size, extensive bony armor, and powerful tail club made it a formidable herbivore in a world teeming with predators. Living during the final chapter of the dinosaur era in what is now Western North America, Ankylosaurus provides a fascinating glimpse into the diverse and often heavily defended fauna of the time. Ongoing paleontological research continues to shed light on its biology, behavior, and evolutionary relationships, further solidifying its place as one of the most remarkable creatures to walk the earth. Thanks guys for listening to that. It was me. This is something new I'm trying. Let me know how you like it, to do a lot more, less talking about the build and way more talking about just the species that we did. I'll go a little bit over the build now, just kind of my thought process. I wanted to create those hills that just kind of had these rocky hills and then right down into the floodplain where we can start building for other species. Here I'm kind of just describing what's going to happen in the park, so apologies for that. I figured you'd want to hear my whole spiel. I'm working on doing scripts, and I think that it's going to improve my videos by quite a bit. We are going to continue with some Jurassic World Evolution 3 content in the future, but it's definitely on my lower end of priorities, so let me know if you really want to see it, because that's something that I'm willing to do. But that about wraps it up. We'll get straight into the cinematic shots. Don't forget to like the video, comment below what you think of this more research-heavy format. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.